Video games are a powerful force. They pull us into new worlds. They challenge our minds. They connect us with friends, new friends, old friends. This digital magic started from a simple idea: interactive fun on a screen. For decades, that idea has grown in ways no one could have imagined. Today, gaming is a global phenomenon, a hobby, a sport, a way of life for billions of people. It's a journey of creativity and technology. From dots of light on a screen to complex emotional experiences that captivate us and keep us coming back for more. It taps into our desire for play. The story of video games begins long before they entered our homes. It started in university laboratories. In 1962, a group of students at MIT created a game called Space War on a vintage screen. Two player-controlled spaceships. They tried to shoot each other down, while avoiding the gravitational pull of a star. It ran on a massive PDP-1 computer, a machine that cost a fortune and took up an entire room. This wasn't a commercial product, it was a passion project, a demonstration of what computers could do beyond just crunching numbers. Space War was a revelation, proving interactive entertainment on a screen was possible and incredibly fun. Nolan Bushnell, an engineer who had played Space War in college, saw its commercial potential. In 1971, he and a partner created Computer Space, the first ever commercially sold coin-operated video game. It was a fiberglass cabinet with a built-in television screen. However, it was too complex for the average person in a bar to understand. In 1972, he founded a new company, Atari. It was called Pong. 2 paddles, 1 ball. The goal was to hit the ball past your opponent. It was an instant smash hit. The first Pong machine, installed in a California tavern, broke down because it was overflowing with quarters. The late 1970s and early 1980s were the golden age of arcade games. Arcades became the new social hubs for a generation of kids and teenagers. The air was filled with the cacophony of electronic bleeps, bloops, and explosions. Games like Space Invaders from 1978 created a national frenzy, with its descending rows of aliens creating a palpable sense of tension. Then came Pac-Man in 1980, a game that broke the mold. It appealed to a broader audience, including female players, and became a cultural icon with its own merchandise. Atari released its groundbreaking console, the Atari 2600, in 1977. Its key innovation was the use of interchangeable cartridges. You could buy and play a whole library of different titles. However, a flood of low-quality rushed games from Atari and other companies led to a loss of consumer confidence. This culminated in the great video game crash of 1983, which nearly destroyed the American home console market. Just when it seemed like home video games were a passing fad, a hero emerged from Japan. In 1985, Nintendo launched the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, in North America. They had a strict official Nintendo seal of quality to ensure games on their system were good. They bundled the console with a game that would change everything: Super Mario Bros. This game was a masterpiece of design. With its colorful worlds, the NES single-handedly revitalized the video game industry and established Nintendo as the new king of home gaming. The success of the NES kicked off the first great console war. Sega, another Japanese company, stepped up to challenge Nintendo's dominance. The mid-1990s marked another monumental shift in gaming. The technology was finally powerful enough to create believable three-dimensional worlds. This leap from flat, two-dimensional sprites to three-dimensional polygons was as significant as the jump from black and white to color television. Suddenly, game worlds had depth, height, and a whole new sense of scale. Players could explore environments in a way they never could before. In 1994, a new player entered the console wars: Sony. Their console, the PlayStation, was a real game changer. It used CDs instead of cartridges, which could hold vastly more data. This allowed for longer games, richer graphics, and full-motion video cutscenes. The PlayStation was marketed towards a more mature audience, positioning games as a cool hobby for young adults. Tomb Raider with its adventurous protagonist Lara Croft, Final Fantasy VII with its epic cinematic story, the PlayStation became a massive global success. Selling over 100 million units, Nintendo responded with the Nintendo 64 in 1996. The N64 introduced another crucial innovation: the analog stick. This small thumbstick gave players precise 360-degree control over their characters in a three-dimensional space. The launch title Super Mario 64 was a masterclass in three-dimensional game design. In 2001, Microsoft threw its hat into the ring with the Xbox. As technology continued to advance, the focus shifted from just better graphics to new ways of playing and connecting. The Nintendo Wii, released in 2006, was a perfect example. It wasn't the most powerful console, but it introduced intuitive motion controls that made gaming accessible to everyone. Grandparents were playing virtual tennis with their grandchildren. Families were gathering to bowl in their living rooms. The Wii broke down barriers and showed that gaming could be a fun, physical activity for people of all ages and skill levels. At the same time, online gaming exploded in popularity. Xbox Live, the PlayStation Network became central to the console experience. Gaming was no longer a solitary activity, it was a social one. You could team up with friends from across the country to complete a mission in World of Warcraft or test your skills against players from around the globe in Call of Duty. This created massive, persistent online communities. Gaming became a third place for many. A digital space to hang out, compete, and socialize with friends, just like a park or a coffee shop. Today, gaming is more connected than ever. The rise of streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube has turned players into broadcasters and entertainers. Millions of people tune in daily to watch their favorite gamers play, creating a new form of spectator sport. Esports has professionalized competitive gaming, with pro players competing in massive arenas for millions of dollars in prize money. Mobile gaming has put a console in nearly every pocket, making games like Candy Crush Saga and Pokémon Go global phenomena played by billions. Gaming is no longer a niche hobby, it is a central pillar of modern entertainment and culture. From the simple beeps of Pong to the sprawling, interconnected worlds of today, the journey of gaming has been incredible. It has evolved from a novelty in a lab to a global industry that inspires, entertains, and connects people. It brings us together for a shared challenge and, most importantly, unite us all in the universal language of fun.